Alright, chat. Let's take a look at what this video is about, you know? The dark side of Princess Amelia. I think some of the VTubers who've kind of like shown their faces do actually go outside, so they've kind of done like a little bit of like IRL stuff here and there. So there are some. Let's take a look at this. See, I haven't seen Dark Fader, whatever, however you want to pronounce it or so, in a while. So Darth Fader. Let's take a look real quick. Let's see what this video is about.
There's a 16-year-old Clash Royale miner who's currently shaking their gat on TikTok, and everybody seems to think that it's normal. Meet Princess.
Yep. 16-year-old. Okay, I see.
Amelia, a 16-year-old TikToker with over 9 million followers. Now, even though TikTok is dominated by kids and teenagers, I'm convinced that a lot of those 9 million followers of hers are PDF files. If you don't believe me, take this sus video from Princess Amelia, for example. You know something's wrong when the most popular comment in that video is literally Princess Amelia gat. Guat. I don't think you guys understand. This video of hers was taken in 2023, and if she's 16 years old today, that means 2 years ago you unironically had people typing stuff like I've got something in my eye or dream car to a 4-year-old kid. Now, can we all just agree that no?
Well, I was definitely not expecting that, to be honest. I was definitely not expecting something in that sort of nature when it comes to, you know, everyone cooming over a 16-year-old. Yeah.
Nobody should be talking about a kid yet on the internet. Now, I already know there are gonna be some nerd emojis in my comment section who are gonna type some stuff like, well, clearly the guy's name is my name Jeff. It's clearly a kid telling another kid that they've got something in their eye. It's just two kids bantering with one another. It's not a big deal, okay? I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't give a f if it's an adult or a kid talking about a Clash Royale miner's gat. Neither of those things are okay and should be happening in the first place. I think we can all agree that we should never get to the point where we've got literal 4-year-old kids recording these kind of sus dances and then uploading them on TikTok. Because this is the result of you uploading those kind of sus dances. But you know what? Let's entertain the nerd emoji's negative IQ argument for a second. Let's say you're right. Let's say this my name Jeff guy who wrote this devious comment is a kid. I guarantee you that not everyone who's posting these Riz trading order comments to a 4-year-old kid, by the way, are kids themselves. But don't take it from me. Take it from this guy who literally wrote Amelia is mothering? And then there's another comment from him saying that this video is 10 hours long. So right off the bat, let's address the elephant in the room. The fact that this guy's English is sus, to say the least, tells me that this guy is probably from a third world country where 14 years old is the age where you're considered to be an adult. Also, the fact that he's saying that he's watched this whole video for 10 hours straight tells me that he was probably doing something diabolical while watching that video for 10 hours. But you know what, guys? Maybe the nerd emojis are right. Maybe the guy who posted this devious comment is just a 14
that are underage.
I'm gonna be honest with you. She is such a baby. Jesus Christ, she is such a baby. Oh my lord, she's a baby. She is such a baby. She literally doesn't even know how to do taxes yet. She doesn't even know what the fuck, you know, like how to even do her taxes or like, you know, any adult related things whatsoever.
14-year-old kid himself. I mean, let's look at his
Or restrict the accounts.
Now, I don't know if it's just me, but
content.
I have a big feeling that someone who looks like he's pushing 40 years old and who looks like he's got the BMI of 50 Big Macs should not be posting those
In her
kind of
defense, she's just following the trend made by the of girls. But then again, if I was her parent, let alone her brother, she's gonna get the slipper, no phone for a week, delete account, don't care if it has large followers, and her personal email will be restricted.
Yep.
Hinge comments in the comment section of a 4-year-old kid and should definitely not be watching a kid dancing for 10 hours straight. Subscribe and smash like if you agree. Don't get it twisted, guys. Princess Amelia has successfully turned her TikTok page into a goldmine for PDF files. I mean, look at this sus crap. I mean, don't look at it, especially if you're over 18, but I want to ask you guys a simple question.
This
What is the
reminds me
benefit
of that
of a
K-pop
kid uploading
survival
this
show
kind of
that was
weird
about to
content on
broadcast
TikTok?
where the
I'll tell you what the benefits
contestants were as
are.
young as
There are
9
none.
years.
However, I can list
And they
countless
got
of
so
benefits
much
for
shit,
people
they
who
had to
seek this kind
cancel
of
the
content
entire
willingly.
show.
For some weird reason, it's very trendy nowadays for kids to act and look like they're older than they actually are. And I'm convinced that
That's so stupid, to be honest. Like, you know, there's always that saying or so when you were a kid or so when you're like, oh, I can't wait to be an adult or so, right? There's always that saying, right, when you were younger or so, when some of them would say like, oh, I can't wait to be an adult to buy my own things or so, you know? But then like, you know, but that's when like, you know, you didn't look like that or so, you know, you didn't look like, you know, that doing that kind of things or so. You kind of like put on your dad or your mom's clothes or whatever, you know, you put in your you put their shoes on or so, and that's pretty much about it. But like now, you know, now they're like trying to put on makeup and doing all this other shenanigans and everything.
trend was started by Cody Co, and I just
If we
don't get
lived
it.
in a
If you're a
world where
14-year-old
parents
kid, play
actually parented
Roblox,
their
play
kids properly,
Minecraft.
this wouldn't have this problem.
But don't start recording these weird videos that you would expect from an OF bop like Sophie Rain. Yo, I'm gonna say what needs to be said. Amelia's content is just going to attract sus YouTubers like this guy. Is this what you want, Amelia? For a sus YouTuber to look at a Clash Royale miner and do like, Sam. I don't think so. Where did we go wrong as a society, guys? Where we sincerely believe nowadays somehow that goon bait coming from kids is normal content. Now, I already know what you're asking yourself. Where are this kid's parents? And why didn't they stop her from making goon bait content when she was 15? I'll tell you what I think. I think that her parents are just like Ranky G's parents. And they saw how many followers she was getting extremely fast, and they saw the financial opportunity that came with it. Guaranteed, because of Amelia's following, she's probably getting a lot of brand deals from clothing brands, fashion brands, car brands. Her parents couldn't care less about her attracting a lot of people to her TikTok page. I can tell you right now, her parents must be ecstatic to see their bank accounts filled with their Clash Royale miners' daughters' goonbait content earnings. Yo. What? Yo. First things
Gosh, she's such a baby. Holy shit, dude. You're such a baby. You haven't even grown or anything. She's trying to act all slutty and everything, but like, my god, she is such a baby.
first, why is this kid dressed up like she's about to go on a date with Cody Co? And secondly,
Thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome.
why is a kid vibing to a song about sex? What's happening to Amelia is creepy to say the least. The fact that she's hanging out with grown adults who seem to support her disturbing goonbait content, the fact that Amelia's been posting weird goonbait TikTok videos for the past 2 years, ever since she was 14 years old, and her parents have yet to stop her, well, no wonder Amelia thinks that what she's doing is normal. She literally screams group victim 101. But you know what, guys? Maybe I'm the Karen here. Maybe I'm the one who's overreacting, and maybe in 2025, kids making these kind of weird videos is perfectly fine. And having people talk about bananas in her comment section, that's also normal. Like, why are people talking about bananas in her comment section? Now, I know it's gonna come as a shock when I say this, but it would seem that some of the grown adults who are seen collabing with Amelia, who clearly don't care or mind that she's making goonbait videos on TikTok, well, it would seem that some of them might be sus. Look at this guy, for example, who during a collab dance with Amelia decided to check this scat. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think that's something that a grown adult should be doing. Oh, my bad, guys. Looks like the grown adult who was checking out a 6-year-old Clash Royale miner's gat is actually her boyfriend. I mean, guys, look at these cute TikToks of them together. Wow, this looks like the perfect couple. Wait a second, it looks...
Oh my. Right.
Looks like her boyfriend is actually 10 years older than her, and it's not actually her boyfriend, but her brother. Bruh, I just don't get it. Is everyone around her just a weird...
Whoa. FBI, open up! Whoa. Whoa. Sweet home Alabama, I guess.
Now, unless you live in Alabama, I don't know what kind of brother who's 10 years older than Amelia, by the way, is checking her sister's gat, is also touching her waist, and is seen rizzing her. Like, man, she needs a restraining order on this guy's ass, ASAP. And why is her brother doing this with his tongue right after rizzing her? Now to my...
Oh man, dude. If my older brother tried to do that to me, I would beat the shit out of him. I would lock him in the Necronomicon for such a long time.
A great surprise, there are actually some people, some brain-dead lobotomized victims, who are literally defending her brother's unhinged behavior and calling anyone who dare criticize him dumbasses. Because according to them, Amelia and her brother just have a strong sibling relationship with one another. A strong sibling relationship, you say? Hey, you know what? Whoever posted that comment might be cooking something. He might be cooking a meal for, I don't know, Chris Tyson, but he might be cooking a meal. But you know what? I'm gonna stop taking the piss for a second. If you
I have strong siblings relationships, but we don't do that stuff, okay? We don't fucking do that, alright?
think about it, whoever posted that comment might be right. This definitely looks like a strong sibling relationship if they're from Alabama. But even then, I would argue that a 25-year-old grown brother putting his hands on his little sister, on his 7-year-old sister's waist, is weird even by Alabama standards. I mean, bruh, just look at how uncomfortable Amelia looks here, and the way she instantly removes her brother's hands from her waist as soon as he touches her. But don't worry, guys, we are the weird ones, and this is definitely just a strong sibling relationship. I don't know about you guys, but me, personally, when I see a 25-year-old grown man posting TikTok videos with his little sister, and he's titling those TikTok videos, Best Couple in Japan, with a sus winky face emoji, combined with touching his sister's waist, and combined with raising her? Well, my bad if I'm reaching here, but unless it looks like a normal sibling relationship, and the more it looks like her sister is in danger of getting diddied, if she isn't already. Hey, don't get it twisted. Even if you're siblings, you can still get gripped by your own brother. Now, I already know I'm gonna get some comments of people saying that I'm the weird one for calling her content goon bait. Now, with all due disrespect,
So chat, our Mama Azathoth refuses us to dress like that, you know? We wear like, normal clothing, like, the only time I ever wear like, short shorts or like a tank top or something like that, right? If like it's just me and Mama Azathoth, and that's it. Because it's girls. It's just girls in the house, right? But like, if there's a boy in the house, right? And like, my older brother and now my other older brother now. I don't, I'm not allowed to wear that at the end of the day. So
A raid from taunting_echo with a party of one.
hey Taunting, welcome.
Brave soul. Get ready for some
Hey,
gaming
raiders.
excitement and chaos. Let's make this raid unforgettable and have a blast together.
Yeah, I don't wear shorts. The only time I wear short shorts or so is only
The real
when
question is, where are their parents?
I have no idea. Like I said, only if it's like me and my mom. There was one time or so it was just me and Mama Azathoth that we just lived in our house or so for a while, until we got older brother because of pandemic or so, because it made it pretty hard or so, and then now my other older brother is here, so I can't really wear those stuff anymore, so that's why.
here's
Hey,
where
Taunting.
you're brain
How you
dead.
been?
If Amelia is indeed posting content that's appropriate for her age, why is the top result on TikTok when you type Princess Amelia this? Like, bruh, why is one of the top search results on TikTok Princess Amelia sticking out? Sticking out what? And why are the majority of her comments unhinged stuff like this? You know how I know that Princess Amelia's content is absolutely unhinged and shouldn't be posted by someone of her age? Because there's literally someone who is also a Clash Royale minor by the name of Sophie, who's also extremely popular on TikTok, but who actually uploads content that is actually appropriate for her age. And I can tell you right now that unlike Amelia, Sophie's comment section is actually normal. But here's the thing with Amelia. Not only is her content harmful to her future self when she finally realizes as an adult that the content she's been producing as a minor is a gold mine for PDF files, but her content is also negatively influencing her audience. That is
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to affect her later on in the future. I'm not gonna lie, to be honest. In my personal opinion, it's definitely like if she wants to either like, I think she's gonna go. If I'm gonna take a real good guess or so, I bet you when she reaches 18 years old, she's probably gonna open up an OnlyFans. And that's how she's gonna start milking people or so. But then they're all gonna know her for, they're like, oh, you're that girl or so that posts nudes or so on OnlyFans and whatnot. So can't wait to see her on the whatever podcast. Yep, she's probably gonna show up on some podcast or so, and then we'll probably hear about it maybe like 10 years, 20 years down the line or so. It says, and then she like regrets her decisions of what she did or so early on in her life and everything. So, it's just gonna bite her in the ass, and all that stuff. But hey, you know what? Hey, you do what you want to do at the end of the day. Hey, man. Anything for the clout, right, chat? Anything for the clout. Thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome.
It's primarily composed of kids, to the point where, according to Amelia herself, her audience literally ship her. They treat her as a role model. Yo, if you're a kid or a Clash Royale minor watching this, stop. Don't feed into this weird PDFL friendly trend where you're encouraged to, you know, act older, look older. Don't turn yourself into a goldmine for PDFLs. You're only gonna be a kid once, so do stuff your age. If you're a 12-year-old kid, play Roblox. Don't look up to victims like Amelia, because I guarantee you, when she grows older, she's gonna regret making the content that she's made as a kid. But don't take it from me, take it from the smart kids who actually understand the dangers of turning yourself into content.
Let me see. Hi, Wei. I'm 13 and just started high school this year. The amount of girls at my school that look up to role models like Ice Spice and other 18 plus creators is crazy. They even try dressing up as them. They're in the same grade as me and the same age. One came in decent clothes, then shortly after changed in the school's bathroom, came back with tight jeans on and a shirt, which she turned into a crop top for some reason, and she loved the lustful eyes she got from boys who haven't even hit puberty. It's really sad to see young girls look up to these type of people, and later in the future they'll regret it. Yep. So, you know, they always do regret it later in the future. Always.
And that Dreezy or Dr. Chris Respect can watch for free. If you're a Clash Royale minor, you can look like an adult and act like an adult when you're an adult. Subscribe and smash like if you agree.
And even then, on top of that, you know, they're gonna start getting you know, they're probably gonna experience some like very uncomfortable levels of like, you know, sexual harassment and all this other shit, you know. So like we're gonna have the stories, or so they're gonna come out ourselves like, oh yeah, you know, because of this and that and all this other stuff. Well, because, you know, the content that you did at the end of the day, you know. Hey, you know what, do what you want to do, I guess, you know. But you know, there's consequences to your own actions, you know. But hey, you know, the parents doesn't seem like they're, you know, nowhere to be found or so for this situation. But hey, it is what it is. Her email's full of D pics, probably. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. But yeah, such a shame. What was I doing or so many years? Well, what was I doing when I was 16 years old? Wow, there's so many millions of years, I hardly even remember. I think I was going to, well, I was going to school in the Outer Realms, but I'm like, I think I was just doing my studies.
Good news, the birth rate is gonna go up again. Bad news, the parents haven't even finished high school.
Yackertons. Yeah. Her memory's fading with age. All I did was just like, you know, just kind of played video games. That's about it, you know. That's all I did. Just play games, study, do my homework, you know. All those other shenanigans, but yeah. Anyways. Hey, it is what it is, right? It is what it is at the end of the day. That's why, personally, then again, chat, I'm gonna say this for an example, okay? That's an American girl. That's an American Asian girl, okay? Let me remind you this, that's an American Asian girl, okay? That's number one, right? Number two, this is the reason why I wouldn't date someone from America, because of that specific mindset that they have, you know? That's the one thing I wouldn't want to date, personally. So, yeah. There might be, you know, there might be some good ones out there, you know, but I'm like, sorry, not really okay with it, so. Yeah, that's definitely 100% American. That's an American Asian girl. That's 1,000. You can tell automatically that is an American Asian girl. So, but yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And yeah, just act your own age. You don't need to grow up, you know, super fast. Just, you know, just have fun and just play games, bro. Just play games. Do your homework. Just go to school. You know, just trust me. You do not want to grow up. Trust me. As an Asian American girl, well, of course it's an Asian American girl because of the way her room is, you know. That's definitely, especially like in some of this, and plus also especially, let me see. Plus look at the neighborhood that she's in, you know? But yeah. We call those ABGs and Callies. My high school was littered with them. Yeah, I hate these type of Asian girls, to be honest. We never had these type of Asian girls. When I was coming to school here in the mortal realm, and then, well, in the outer realms, there's not really, there's not really any humans. So, but yeah, we never had any of these kinds though. So yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And yeah, just
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your family, dishonor on your cow.
yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And peace.